So we're at the final and least fun of the plants we're going to talk about today. This is a knockout rose bush. Most rose bushes, traditionally you think of a vine that's growing up a trellis and it's really temperamental and high maintenance. These things are dead simple. They grow on their own. They're really hardy and tolerant. The only problem is that you have to trim them back in the winter and they are covered with thorns. So if you have a nice pair of thick leather gloves, these are what you're going to want because you're still going to get poked. And unfortunately I'm missing one, but you want some nice thick gloves for this job. These are really fast growers, so generally speaking you'll want to cut them lower because they will fill out. If I just trim off the top here, they'll be 7 feet tall by next year. So I'm going to take them pretty low and cut it even, and then we'll go through and thin it out. I'm also going to come through and trim up the sides a little bit to try to separate them. If you wanted to grow a thick hedge of them, you could let them grow together, but in this case, again, it's a matter of preference. I'm going to try to keep them separated. Now's the part where we come down to figuring out how we want to thin it out. We want to take out anything that's crisscrossing. And actually, you can see a little bit here. This one is mostly green. Here's a good example right here. But the older, hardier stuff, like this trunk right here, is brown and woody. And those are the ones that you really want to keep. Again, you can take out whatever you want, but those are going to be your thickest, most solid stuff. And any of the green, stringy stuff is kind of fair game. So anyways, this is it. This is a completed pruned bush. As you can see, we stripped it down to pretty much its skeleton. But as I said before, this is what I did to them last year, and you can see what they turned into. If I were to not prune these, they'd probably get another foot and a half. They'd grow way out. They'd be all over on top of the grass. If you had a flower bed in front, they'd be shading out the flowers and you wouldn't get any blooms. So you got to prune these back pretty hard, but that's the gist of it. You go through and you cut these down basically to your main trunks in the general shape and size you want. And come the early spring, late February or early March, you'll start getting little blooms here and there, and it'll fill out and grow up. So there you go.